Now, once you look at a problem like number 3, you have potassium sulfate. So potassium is a metal, and then we have sulfate, which does not end with the letters IDE, like our first two problems, or our anions from the first two problems. Because they don't end in I, then I know that this is not a single element. Instead, what I can do is I can flip the page and I can go to the chart that's in the back. And if I remember correctly, it was sulfate. So I can see that sulfate is down here. So sulfate has a charge of -2. Okay, now this is what we call a polyatomic ion. I told y'all about this on either Tuesday or Wednesday, but we have what is known as a polyatomic ion. It is no longer a single atom, it is a polyatomic, therefore it's made up of multiple atoms. So instead of having the ion that we had before, like chlorine by itself, now we have something attached to chlorine. And in this case, it's not chlorine specifically. If we're looking at sulfate, again, you can look at this table. Sulfate, let me try to find it again, is SO4. So this is just an example. We have SO4 with an overall charge of -2. How do I know that's that superscript at the top told me it has a -2 charge? It's also in the box with the -2. So this is my polyatomic ion. This right here is an ion, but it's polyatomic. It's made up of sulfur plus oxygen. Not just one oxygen, but 4 of them. It's not polyatomic because there's 4 oxygen atoms. It's polyatomic because it's made up of 2 different atoms, sulfur and oxygen, so 2 different elements. Now, when I am writing this, my sulfate has a -2 charge. Okay, so I'm gonna write it down here. I'm gonna say SO4 2 minus, and then I'm gonna look for potassium in my periodic table. Okay, so